Welcome all, Ben here from EWPRO, getting straight into the weekly outlook, looking at the DXY on the daily. We got this ABC still looking very bullish here on the lower time frames, looking for price to get up to that 100 fib as the first target. Would have been nice if we got like a lower low here. Um, we But I would be looking for buys just to go up and break this top. Ideally, it gets up to that 100 fib, but you definitely want to be at break even at the break of this top because we will start to get bearish divergence then. We're looking at this flat here, looking at the time factor. So as you can see with the price action here, it's very choppy, looking for another one down. So again, I'd be looking for a sell here just to break this low. Yeah, you definitely want to be at break even at the break of that low because again, we'll start to get bullish divergence and then that may be the end of this flat here. As for a sell setup at this stage, there isn't one. We got the bearish divergence, but we don't have a nice impulse down yet. So there's no sell setup, so to speak. GU on the daily, looking for more upside too. There's a couple of scenarios with this one here on the daily. We can get an A, a B, and we get a C up here, larger flat, before we get an A, B, C. Pretty much like I mentioned last week. So you'll have to be careful if you're looking for the buy. At this stage, there is a bear hidden here. So really, you want this high here to be broken and then give you a little correction. And then you could look for a C up here, like an A, B, C. And then you'd have to be careful, like I mentioned, as this may be a flat for more downside. Yeah, not much on the H1. EU, looking at this this A, B, C here, and then we get an A, a B, and a C down. We got that. Just waiting for this C wave to end on the daily, and we can start to look for buys. As you can see, at this stage, it's still very much bearish. We may get a higher high here if I could just go down to the lower time frame. It's more of a sell. Yeah, I mean, you could go down to the lower time frame and look for a sell. We got a nice impulse down, but we got an impulse and an impulse here. So there's a few scenarios here. We get like an impulse, 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 and then a correction. And then we get some sort of an A, B, C here, and then an A, B, C, a flat, and we get another one down. At this stage, that's what I'd be looking for, but then we could get another one up, breaking these tops. So, yeah, I mean, it's really just scalping at this stage. NU, we do have the three down here now. I mean, we had that A, B, C, didn't quite get to that 100 pip. Then we had this like A, B, C here, and now it's starting to take off. So would be looking for a buy. Like I mentioned last week, though, we've got to be very careful here because we're getting a bear hidden. So I said last week, you're pretty much looking for a buy, but you got to be careful. You're just looking for a C up. So at this stage, I'd be still looking for more upside. I dare say we'll get a bull hidden in here. So we may get a correction in here. If we get a nice correction in there and a bullish setup, you could look to buy just to go and break this top. But after that, we'll dare say we'll start to get bearish divergence in here. And then if you got a nice impulse down, a bearish correction, well, then you could look for a sell to go and break the low. But at this stage on the lower time frames, it's still possibly bullish. UI isn't really playing the game. If I zoom right out here, we're looking for that time factor here. Looking for that 1, 2, 3, get a wave 4, and then we trade a wave 5 up before we get this larger A, a B, and a C, larger flat. The problem here is, we haven't got that C down. We really need this A. I'm still looking at all this as a B, and we get a C down here, and then if we get a bullish setup, well, then we can look for a buy. I wouldn't be going buying until we get this impulse down and then a buy setup. We have all that bearish divergence there, so really risky buying up the top here. Until we get that, you could look for a sell, but again, we don't have a sell here. I dare say on the lower time frame, we've got a bull hidden here, and we do. That low there hadn't been broken, and we have a bull hidden there. So this can still give us another one up, and this is some sort of a flat here. So yeah, you really got to be careful. If this low here gets broken, well, then you could start to look for a sell. But until that low is broken, it's still more bullish in my opinion on the H1 anyway. UY, well, we got the 5 up here. We do have the bearish divergence as well. It's not really giving us a sell setup though. That's the problem. This is more of a flat here. Like we get an A, a B, and a C here from more upside. This B wave here is very deep to this A wave, so that's why I'm looking at it as a regular flat at this stage. You could look for a sell. It's going to be a risky sell. Well, it's we have an impulse down here. If we get a correction, a full correction, well, then you could look for a C down just to break this low here, like an A, B, C here, just to break that low. And then you'd have to be careful, because we could go up and break the top again. USD CAD, it's pretty much played out. Well, we've been looking at this on the H4, and we got that wave 5 up, that extended wave 5. It's really taken off, so we're pretty much just on the sideline now waiting for, nothing's changed since last week. We're waiting for this larger correction here. Before I do anything, you can't really sell this either. There's no, it's too choppy to sell. And if this is a correction, which I suspect it is, this is going to be very choppy. So it's going to be very difficult to trade for a while. Yeah, there's really not much you can do with that at this stage until we get that larger correction. The Swissy, nothing's changed either since last week. On the daily, we got this A, a B, and a C. Looking for it to get up to that 100 fib. Again, it's, it starts to get risky. We've already got the C up, so you pretty much, if you're looking for a buy, you're buying possibly at the end of a C wave. I'm looking for a little bit more upside, but if you have a look at the H4, I'm looking for a larger correction here. So ideally, we do get a larger correction than these. over here. We are starting to get that, but yeah, I really like to see a larger correction and a nice buy setup, and then I could look for a buy to go up and 5, 3, and another 5 up. Yeah, I mean, it did give us 3 down here on the H1. It did give us 3 down here, but we've got to be very careful because here we never got a higher high and we have a bear hidden. So you've got to be very careful. This can be some sort of an A, B, C flat here, and we get more downside to go and break that low. Really, I'd like to see this low here broken, and then you could possibly start to look for buys. But yeah, until that happens, yeah, it's quite risky because you're right at the end of the wave 5 without a larger correction. EG starting to fall over. Been saying to keep out of this. When we're in here, I've been saying, pretty much keep out of this because it could go either way. We had these nice 5 up here, had correction, and I was looking for it to go there. It never went. Instead, we're getting some sort of a larger correction here. There's really not much on it at all at this stage to actually, trade. I mean, you could go down to the lower time frames and look for bear hidden divergence. It's not ideal though. We do have a lot of bullish divergence here, but there is no buy setup. So I dare say we'll get another one down here. Like we'll get like 1, 2, 3, get a wave 4 in here and a wave 5 down, and we'll get some sort of a bear hidden in here. Or possibly a bear hidden on the H4 rather. So, yeah, I'd be looking for a buy at this stage, but there is no buy setup, and it really is, you're possibly buying into a correction too, so it is quite risky. Nothing's changed on WTI either. Like I've been saying, until this low here is broken, I'm very much still bullish, to go up and break this top on the daily. We have that bull hidden there. So even though this has come quite deep to this wave here, until this low here is broken, it's very risky to sell. You could scalp the sells, but that's about it. The H4, we're looking for that wave 4 and then looking for a wave 5 down. Looks like we may even be starting to get a bear hidden here already on the H4, and we are. So if you're looking, well, there's a couple of scenarios here, like I've gone over before. I'll quickly go over it again, but this can be like in this wave 3 here. This can be an extended wave, like 1, 2, 3. Get a wave 4 in here and a wave 5 down as an extended wave 3 before we get that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're looking to buy this in here, you're just looking for a C up, like an A, B, C, and then you'd have to be careful because it can give you another one down, and that's what I'm looking for it to do, to give us another one down. There's nothing to sell here though. We need another one up in here first, and this is starting to look okay. And we even have a bull hidden here as well on the H1. So, any bullish setup, ideally you get a nice impulse up and a correction, and then you could look to buy. To at least go and break that top. Then you'd have to be careful because then it may come down and break the low, like I mentioned, in that wave 5. Gold, we got this C down. we do have a ball hidden here as well. So, until this low here is broken, this wave four, it's still very much bullish to me. Very similar to WTI, this one. We did get an extended wave three here. We got it 1, 2, 3, 4. We had that bear hidden here to look for that wave five down. We got that in that wave three, finishing off the wave three. Looking for wave four, like a 1, 2, 3, a wave four, and then a wave five down still. I mean, it may take off here. So you definitely can look for a buy here, and it may take off. But it may give us a wave five down as well. So you can see here, it's looking very much bullish in here. You got to be very careful here, though, because it may just like come up, break this top, and then fall over, because we do have a possible bear hidden there. So if you're looking for the buy on the lower time frames, you definitely want to be a break even, a break of that top, because like I said, it can just come up, break that top, and then fall over on you. But if you're lucky, it takes off. Silver's pretty much the same as gold, very similar. We got this A, B, C. We're in this wave C. This one didn't have the extended wave, but we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had that bear hidden here for that wave five. Again, I'd be looking for a buy. But yeah, it may just be an A, some sort of a B and a C up. Uh, but we do have 5 down, so it's definitely worth looking at. I was really hoping this would come down and break the low, because this was so choppy. It looked very corrective to me, like I was saying, and it never went down and broke the low. So definitely got to be careful here. This here may be very slow and low too. Not sure what happened there, but maybe, very choppy as well, like this was, um, like this wave here was. So, you know, um, we'll see what happens. But at this stage, I would be looking for a buy just to break this top. If you're lucky, it really takes off, but got to be careful once that top there is broken. Bitcoin, we've been looking for any buys for the last few weeks. Any buy you get. If I zoom out here, we had those 5 up. We've got an A, B, C, and we had 5 down in here as well. If I just zoom in a little bit, we had this 5 down in here, giving us a bullish divergence. So ever since we got that 5th wave down, as soon as we had this low here broken, we're looking for buys. So any buy setup you get, definitely can look to get in. You probably missed it now. I said last week that really, this is the time to get in it. Last week, just what I had this flat in here. We got a nice impulse up. Sort of had 3 down. This is more than likely some sort of a flat here. It doesn't really look like one, but well, it may be the flat here now. We got 3 down, so an A, B, C here, a flat. Get another one down in here, and then you get an A, B, C. But yeah, any bullish setup you get, you definitely can look for it. It's not really giving us a nice setup though. I mean, the M15, we're getting these ball hidden divergences, so you definitely could look to at least go and break that top there. S&P 500, not really going to go into this too much. We're right up the top of the market. Extremely risky buying up the top of the market. It's not giving us any sell setups. So, I mean, I was looking at this as a flat here to go up and break the top. It never did. It tried to, gave a very deep correction in here, and we're getting some sort of an A, B, C here. So this could turn quite complex. But yeah, I mean, I would be leaving it alone. You're right at the top of the market. If you're just scalping this. If you're buying it, you're just scalping, and you can only buy it. You can only go with the larger trend. But yeah, it's just scalping on the real lower time frames at this stage. AU200, looking for this top to be broken. Getting a correction in here, so definitely can look for at least, at least to break this top. Ideally, it goes up and breaks these tops here as well. Yeah. I mean, you need some sort of a correction before you can buy. Ideally, it goes up, breaks this top here, and then gives you a correction. Then you could look for a buy. Yeah, very risky until that top there is broken though, because it's still in a downtrend on the lower time frames. So yeah, the FTSE looking at some sort of a complex correction here, like some sort of an A, B, C, then get some sort of an A, B, C here, A, B, C, larger correction before we get A, B, C. So I am looking at some sort of a correction there, similar to what I just showed you. So it's going to be quite choppy for quite some time. It's not really, I mean, you could look for a sell now. We got a nice impulse down here. So if you got a correction, you could look for at least 3 down. Yeah. Lastly, the DAX. This has already broken the top with this A, B, C, so that's fine. Really just looking for sells. Overall, there's a lot of bearish divergence here. You definitely got to be very careful selling this because we do have a possible bull hidden there. So this here is looking very bearish. But if you get the sell, you got to be careful. You definitely got to be a break even at a break of this low here because it can just come down, break that low, and then shoot up and break the top with that bull hidden. Even the H1 has a bull hidden. So unless, I mean, if you do get in a sell and it falls over and breaks that low, well, you could keep it, keep the sell and add to it. But yeah, it's very dangerous until this low here is broken because, like I said, it can just give you an A, a B, and a C, just breaking this low without breaking these lows over here, and then go up and break the top again. So I hope you all got something out of this video. If you did, please hit the like button, share and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.